Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of The Committee Reads. I am your host KWCEs, and with me today I have GVR, Alex, and Nagoda. And today we will be going over KWCE number 28, Audrey 2 versus Pumpkin Rapper by Titanogoji 16. Hold your hat and hang on to your soul. Something's come to eat the world whole. If we fight it, we've still got a chance. But whatever they offer you, though they're slopping the trout for you, please, whatever you do, don't feed the plants. The warning echoed through the skies as people fled in terror, helpless to watch as one of the countless plant-like monsters climbed up and settled into the head of the Statue of Liberty, as if declaring its dominance over the fleeing populace. Laughing manically, the monster's flytrap surveyed its new kingdom. "Run! Run, you tasty morsels!" Audrey 2 called out. "I'll snack on you all real soon." The creature noticed that some of the screams were silenced. "Or maybe one of my fellow flora will." The plant erupted in a fit of giggling. A series of pink energy rings shot out of nowhere, blasting the statue and destroying it in a large explosion. The head of the statue plummeted down to Liberty Island, taking the monstrous plant down with it. As soon as the head made contact with the ground, the momentum and force impaled the Audrey 2 on Lady Liberty's crown, instantly killing the creature. The being responsible for slaying the plant stepped forward, admiring his work. His skin was a sickly orange in color, with a green collar of sorts resting atop his shoulders. His head was, well, a giant pumpkin, an upside-down jack-o'-lantern to be exact. But despite the death of despite the death of the one Audrey 2's, it's a little weird, but which was much smaller than he was, this strange pumpkin beast knew he still had some work ahead of him. Now that the plant has met its end, it's time to kill off all its friends. "I still say you should have sent me to put an end to those obnoxious singing weeds, my liege," Goldar insisted as he watched the scene unfold by peering through the repulsoscope pass.
Oh my god, I have to read dialogue with these characters. God, why? You may be... I'm not even going to bother doing voices,
That's
I don't
fine.
feel like it. "You may be strong enough to get the job done, Goldar," responded Lord Zed as he sat in his throne. "But with our luck, you'd let the accursed plant sweet-talk you into letting them live, or helping them, or something even worse." Goldar frowned and was just about to retort when Rita Repulsa piped in. "The last thing I need is to hear you singing about somewhere that's gold," she said, earning a sneer from her golden warrior. Ignoring this, she continued. "As a fellow singing plant, Pumpkin Rapper won't fall prey to Audrey 2's musical machinations. He'll have to face us the old-fashioned way. Planto a planto. Kill me." In a flash of orange light, Pumpkin Rapper teleported from Liberty Island into the heart of New York City, landing in the middle of Central Park. The numerous Audrey 2s in the city quickly zeroed in on the monster, already having been alerted to his presence by the death of their brother on the Statue of Liberty. Numerous tendrils lashed up from the ground, lassoing around the pumpkin monster's arms, legs, and torso, tying him in place. As Pumpkin Rapper struggled, pulling against the vines, a trio of Audrey 2s emerged from the city, advancing on the orange beast. One was nearly the same size as Pumpkin Rapper, while the other two were noticeably smaller, though still enough to be dangerous. "You think you're so tough, don't you?" the large Audrey 2 sneered. "Go on, get 'em." The three of them charged, but the two smaller ones were faster, leaving the large one behind them. "You may have vines, but you're still mine," Pumpkin Rapper retorted, unleashing another energy blast from his left eye. The ensuing explosion, shredding and tearing through the vines and roots, loosening their grip on Pumpkin Rapper enough for him to pull free, tossing the torn limbs aside. The Audrey 2s were surprised, but didn't cease their charge. Fully free now, Pumpkin Rapper spun around and delivered a firm kick to one of the plant pod-like snout, sending the beast skidding backwards. With his pumpkin foe distracted, the second small Audrey 2 made its way to him and opened its maw, biting down on Pumpkin Rapper's arm. This elicited a cry of pain from the ghoulish gourd. You better let go fast, or you'll feel the blast." The Audrey 2 did not release his arm fast enough for his liking, and a blast of his eye beam sent the toothy plant reeling back. Oh, that's smart, the Audrey 2 cried out, clutching his burnt face with its tendrils. The plant looked up just in time to see Pumpkin Wrapper spin around and deliver another powerful kick to its face, sending the alien pod crashing into a nearby building. Before the pumpkin beast could press his advantage, the second, smaller Audrey 2 lashed out with its vines, wrapping them around Pumpkin Wrapper's arm, stopping his charge. Narrowing his triangular eyes, Pumpkin Wrapper strained and pulled his arm forward, tugging the Audrey 2 towards him. Before the smaller Audrey 2 could stop him, Pumpkin Wrapper grabbed the vines and heaved upward, sending the bloodthirsty plant hurtling up into the air. Yanking downward, Pumpkin Wrapper brought the flying Audrey 2 down hard, and it slammed into the first small Audrey 2 just as it emerged from the rubble of the building it struck. Teeth, leaves, and sap went flying everywhere as the pair of Audrey 2s collided, greatly injuring them both. The rapper let out a devilish laugh as he watched the two floral creatures try to untangle themselves from one another, groaning with agony as they did so. Extending his right hand, an object faded into existence, a small, ordinary-looking pumpkin. Winding his arm back, Pumpkin Rapper declared, "First this bomb will make you hot, and then you'll scream and die a lot." Bringing his arm forward, he tossed the pumpkin at the two injured plants. The pair of Audrey 2s didn't even have a chance to react before the pumpkin hit them, detonating with incredible force, surrounding them with fire. The large Audrey 2 could only watch the two smaller brothers perish, the flames reducing their leaves and vines to ash, their pods scorched black. The Audrey 2 snarled, its lips curling. "Oh, you done messed up now," it growled. "I can't believe you dare to try and make me scared," Pumpkin Rapper responded, turning to face the third plant. Pass.
By a speed it could muster, the large Audrey 2 attacked, sending its tendrils towards Pumpkin Rapper with the intent of running him through. In a burst of light, Pumpkin Rapper disappeared, reappearing next to his foe, delivering a solid punch to the side of its head. Audrey 2 reeled to the
Nagoda? You cut out, man.
time to spark. Pumpkin Raptor fired off another energy blast, surrounding Audrey 2 with bursts of sparks and fire. "You don't know what you're dealing with," Audrey 2 retorted. Suddenly, a vine lashed out from behind and wrapped itself around Raptor's large neck, strangling the monster. As Pumpkin Rapper struggled to free himself, Audrey 2 surged forward and bit down, sinking his teeth into Rapper's right arm. The monster cried out as Audrey 2's teeth sank deeper, pumpkin juice starting to pour from the wounds. Pumpkin Rapper fired a blast of his eye beam, but due to Audrey 2 shaking his head, the blast missed, nearly grazing the alien flytrap's snout. Pumpkin Rapper could feel his arm weakening. He had to do something fast, or else his floral flow would rip the limb clean off. With no other choice, he summoned another pumpkin bomb to his hand. Bracing himself, he held the bomb out, close to Audrey 2's face. Spotting the bomb, the plant started to release Pumpkin Rapper's arms, only for the pumpkin to explode in its face, sending both monsters hurtling backward in opposite directions. Crashing to the ground and slightly burnt from his own bomb, Pumpkin Rapper clutched his wounded arm. It was badly injured, but salvageable. Audrey 2 reeled back and toppled over backwards, its vines holding its burnt face. If its race had eyes, it would be narrowing them at its foe in anger. Rising to his feet, Pumpkin Rapper got ready to attack again. Just as he began to charge, more tendrils lashed out, but these did not come from the same Audrey 2 he was fighting. Another, smaller Audrey 2 had arrived to help his larger brother, ensnaring Pumpkin Rapper's good arm with its appendage. Grinning, the large Audrey 2 charged, but Pumpkin Rapper wasn't finished yet. To Audrey 2's surprise, Pumpkin Rapper tugged hard, bringing the smaller plant towards him. With a heave, he lifted the small Audrey 2 into the air by its vines, then began to spin, swinging the alien plant around in a circular motion. The larger Audrey 2 had no time to react before Pumpkin Rapper slammed the smaller plant into the side of its head. The shorter Audrey 2 cried out only for a nanosecond, before exploding into a mess of sap and pod chunks, completely obliterated by the harsh impact. Meanwhile, the large Audrey 2 was stunned, unable to move for a moment as it tried to recompose itself. To give it a chance. Now, Now that I've got this fight on lock, taste the Mega Pumpkin Shock! Summoning a vine of his own from the root sticking out of his chest, Pumpkin Rapper tossed the leafy limb out like a rope, lassoing Audrey 2 around its neck. The bloodthirsty plant regained its wits and realized the situation it was in, but by then it was too late. Desperately, Audrey 2 lunged forward, his jaws open, ready to take a chunk out of Pumpkin Rapper's face. But the orange ghoul had already won. Sending a super powerful surge of energy through the vine, Pumpkin Rapper pumped the Flytrap's body full of destructive alien power. Audrey 2 stopped in his tracks, feeling as if it had been punched with a battering ram. Another surge, and Audrey 2's body was completely overloaded. In a blast of sparks and electricity, Audrey 2 exploded, sending its spores everywhere. Recalling his vine back into nothingness, Pumpkin Rapper chuckled, brushing his hands off. He was just about to report back to Rita and said, when he suddenly heard something behind him. Looking back over his shoulder, he spotted another Audrey 2. This one easily as large as the one he had just defeated, if not more so, charging him. Vines hurtling towards him, jaws agape. Unlike before, this time, Pumpkin Rapper didn't panic. Spinning around to face this new attacker, Pumpkin Rapper tossed the pumpkin bomb directly at it. Before Audrey 2 could react, to reach out to its mouth with its vines, but the bomb detonated, exploding within Audrey 2's general throat, engulfing its head with moment.
Oh, assumed you glitched out.
Yeah, you glitched out.
Okay, Pumpkin Raptor waited a minute. He looked around, waiting to see if any Audrey 2s made their presence known. One did. The ground began to shake violently, threatening to knock Pumpkin Raptor off his feet. The earth began to buckle as something large started to emerge from beneath. With a powerful explosion of soil and concrete, another Audrey 2 pulled itself underground, but this one was big, far larger than any of the ones Pumpkin Raptor had faced, so large, in fact, that Pumpkin Raptor had to crane his head backward just so he could properly look at the creature, which was easily 3 times larger than he was. And this was no random Audrey 2, this was the first, the original, the one that had grown from Mushnick's flower shop and had initiated the plant's total conquest of Earth in the first place. For the first time, Pumpkin Raptor felt dread. Still, he readied himself for the next round. Yo, you may be a front, but I still fight, homie. Instead of attacking, the massive Audrey 2 merely laughed. The deep noise echoed across all of New York, causing any other Audrey 2s in the area to grin knowingly. His deep guttural laughter over with, the monstrous plant looked down at Pumpkin Raptor and grinned an evil, toothy grin. Yo, you messed up with the wrong singing plant, homie. It let out with a booming voice that caused Pumpkin Raptor to step back. 'Cause I am bad. Before anything else could happen, Audrey 2 lashed out his fly-trap jaws open wide, enveloping Pumpkin Raptor within. The jack-o'-lantern monster screamed a sound that was quickly silenced as Audrey 2 bit down. Second bite, and Audrey 2 swallowed, devouring Pumpkin Raptor whole. Audrey 2 moaned contently, licking its lips. Winner, Audrey 2.
Yo, homie, so that match was but yeah, no, I think this was a very solid match from Titanic Goji. I liked it a lot. I haven't seen Power Rangers, and I haven't seen
Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors, that was the name of the movie, yeah. I haven't seen that movie in forever. But I think, as far as I'm aware, pretty much pertaining reading this the first time around, yeah, I think it does a good job at representing the characters really nicely. I think both are I think it's an all-around fun little fight of one man against a horde. Sure, there's always the big mega one that's just oh yeah, he's boned, but I think everything before that was a really fun fight. So yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Maybe it's not as super singing heavy, as much of a sing-off as the spiritual successor to this one's gonna be, the one by Harley. But I think this one does it fine. I think this is a perfectly adequate and quality KWCE from Titano Goji. So, yeah, no, I really like this one. I think it captures the spirit of the characters real nicely. So, GVR, what'd you think of it?
I quite enjoyed it. That I sounded bored when reading it, just because of like A, how the day has been so far, and also B, just because peek behind the curtain for those watching.
Shh, spoilers.
I don't care. But no, this was a good match. I really enjoyed it. Solid stuff from Titano. Very fun match. Loved the interaction between the two. Yeah, good stuff.
All right. Alex, what'd you think of it?
It was fun. It was definitely better than some of the previous ones we read. I just sounded bored because I'm depressed. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with the match itself. Me and Alex are just going through stuff.
Yeah. Nagoda, what'd you think of it?
Fun. A lot of good, like, singing and rapping in there. Plus the fight was really good too.
Alright. But yeah, with that said, this has been KWCE number 28, and we'll see you guys next time for KWCE number 29. Till then, everyone.